better.
Oh, yeah. Ow. Okay, I gotta quit trying to do that crap. Oh, I tried to do crap like that. Oh, welcome to the Value Wrestling. That one hurt. Welcome to your AEW WrestleDream Under Review show. We are going to talk about what could have been the overall theme, the night of dreams, as they kept talking about, but for some might have felt like a nightmare. I see there's 8 people in the room. Let's make sure we hit that like button. Let's get all those likes up. If you're here, make sure you give this a big old thumbs up. Let's get started. We're going to get deep into this party. We had too many hours of too much wrestling. Tony, can we go to an idea of, like, this was not a big event pay-per-view? Yes?
The most exciting thing was the highlight of you getting hit tonight. I'm sorry.
The what?
Your slow-mo replay of you taking a hit.
Well, at least I can take a bump better than both Tony Khan and Vince McMahon, so.
I'll give you that for show. Oh, show.
Hi, guys.
AEW WrestleDream. Welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you for being here. Jump into the chat and let's have some fun tonight with this, because it's going to be hard. I don't know how many of you fell asleep during this, but we survived. Go ahead, Mr. Clarke. You fell asleep how many times?
Not Mr. Clarke.
Okay, so I admit I did fall asleep during the 0 hour. I was awake for the full main card during 0 hour, so I got to see like the first couple of matches.
So what? Atlantis Jr. and
I got through the first match. I got through the first match on 0 hour, but yeah, the rest of it, I was like, damn.
So Atlantis Jr. and Brian Cage put you night.
No, I think I got through the first match, which is Atlantis and Brian Cage.
Oh, so you fell asleep during Harley Cameron and Anna Jay. What's wrong with you?
Well, when you want to have sweet dreams.
TMI. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. We're going to get into this. 0 hour started off with the I can talk. The Ring of Honor World TV Championship that I don't know if anybody really cared about. This match was okay. Atlantis Jr. trying to do his stuff. Brian Cage definitely doing his thing. Brian Cage looking decent here. Brian Cage from Chico. Brian Cage needs to come back through SPW so we can get him on the Choppy World Tour Hall of Fame list at an SPW show. Now that would be fun, especially now that he's a new champion, as he is the new Ring of Honor World Champion. Brian Cage getting a win here, kind of shockingly, I think. But I mean, it was a decent match. This was definitely a match that could have been on a Rampage, a Collision, even an AEW Dynamite, could have been on Ring of Honor TV. It just, there wasn't anything here to really get excited about. They tried to sell Atlantis Jr. Brian Cage with the win was kind of exciting, but I mean, it was just kind of like, blah. Your thoughts, gentlemen?
I haven't seen a good win from Brian Cage since what, Team Taz? So I mean, like, I'll take it. He is the brand new World Television Champion. I know it's not an AEW branded belt. Whatever.
He's a TV champion.
You got to win here. I will take it.
Mr. Z, your thoughts?
I mean, a win's a win at this point. Brian Cage picking up a solid win. I mean, what more can we complain about? I mean, he looked decent. He did his thing, won a title. You know, good for him.
From there, we go backstage to the first big pop of the night when MXM Collection introduced their third man. And no, it wasn't Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan didn't get to play the third man this time. But instead, we dove back in the history books of professional wrestling to find Rico. Tony Khan shelled out money. I don't know if it's for one night. I don't know if it's permanent. We don't know anything. We just know that Rico was All Elite, at least for the night. And he was helping out the
I didn't know
MXM Collection.
I didn't know that those pants still fit.
Anywho, he was here to end scissoring forever, but we'll get to that in a moment. In the match that gave Mr. Clarke a lullaby, Harley Cameron took on Anna Jay. Anna Jay being oversold here. She went to New Japan and got all this new training, and now she's come back better than ever. Harley Cameron is mad at Anna Jay because Anna Jay used Saraya. Not like, never mind. Anywho.
Let's not go there.
Anna Jay hits a gory bomb for the 1, 2, 3. And I love Anna Jay. I think Anna Jay is great, but I mean, this was kind of a blah. Nothing exciting there. Mr. Clarke, how did this match play out for you in your dreams? Now remember, keep it PG.
Yes, I'm aware. Well, you expected Anna to go over just because, while I think Harley Cameron to me is kind of like, her real name's Sydney. I'm forgetting her WWE name. Part of Alpha Academy.
Ivy Nile? Or no, you're
Alpha Academy.
Okay, yeah, I forget. Maxine Dupree. Ow,
Okay.
that even hurt.
She's still kind of newish. She's like, I think she's gonna get it, but she's still just too green at the moment. So I expected Anna to go over just based on that.
Mr. Z?
Well, it wasn't a bad match. You know, Anna Jay picking up the big win. I mean, for the longest, she was a prime heel in a stable that was misused to begin with. And now she's all better and all smiles. So it is what it is.
0 hour continued to tick away as we got the MXM Collection with Rico taking on the Acclaim with Billy Gunn. Rico comes out with Mason and Mansoor. Max Caster did some P. Diddy references. And then the highlight of this whole match was Billy Gunn got in and got into a reference of talking about, so this is who you brought back, a man who tried to get me married to another man. No offense, Bowens. And that was probably the highlight of this match. A decent overall match. Eventually, Rico took a famouser into all this. Mansoor walks into the arrival. Caster follows with a mic drop. 1, 2, 3. The Acclaimed win. MXM still being used as jobbers on main TV. I don't know what they're doing in Ring of Honor. I know Mr. Clarke probably thinks they're doing a little more in Ring of Honor, but on AEW, they're kind of jobbers to just above jobbers.
They're there to entertain. That is their role. I've got no qualms with it. I think they're hilarious. Although I could do without Rico still. That makes me go,
I hope it's a one-off.
So do I.
Mr. Z, I know you're excited to see Rico return in his pants. What did you think of this match? I know you didn't get any big, meaty, slappy meat, but you got Rico tonight, so you should be just as happy.
Here we go with that shit. You really want to piss me off today, don't you? I'm already pissed as it is. I'll make sure Jekyll's gets another hit on you and laugh it off this time. But it all I got out of the entire thing was my wife, who is your casual viewer, asking why the man who tried to marry 2 men in WWE was on TV again. I didn't see a point.
Very true. We were then told that Mercedes Moné showed up backstage for an event she doesn't have a badge on, demanding her own dressing room. Queen, whatever her name is, told her she was told Mercedes Moné she was being rude. The CEO warned her to stay out of her way. Emanata is not impressed, and so now we're going to get a match on Dynamite with the TBS title on the line between Mercedes Moné and Queen Aminata for the TBS title, because that's how you get women title shots, or you get TBS title shots in AEW. You just call the champion rude, and yeah. So I don't know what happened to Chris Statlander's big story they started building towards, but yeah, we're going to go a different direction.
Not entirely, because the story hasn't been so much with Mercedes as it has been with Camille.
Anyways, in Mr. Z's favorite moment of the night, Tony Khan gets to stand on the stage to celebrate Antonio Inoki. He welcomes the grandsons of Inoki. Khan thanks us all for coming and inspired, and makes us all join in the Inoki chant. Mr. Z, I will let you go off on that one.
You really don't want me to.
Oh, go ahead.
You really don't want me to, because that was an embarrassment. Tony Khan, you are a fool. You are a joke, and you need to lay off that powder sniff booking. Because Mr. Clarke said it best, hashtag powder sniff booking.
Mr. Clarke, how did you feel?
He doesn't need to yell into the mic.
Well, that's that weird thing, because he'll start off really like blah, 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 and all of a sudden when he gets excited, like, he gets excited because he's like, he's like a chihuahua, real cool, and then all of a sudden something gets him triggered and they go off, You've ever been around a chihuahua? They're just really chill, and then something just triggers them, and they're just like, that is Tony Khan.
Where's she? She's not here right now. That's the Chiweenie that's around here somewhere.
Mr. Clarke, how'd you feel about the Antonio Inoki celebration here?
Considering it's the basis of WrestleDream, the sentiment on paper is nice, but the execution is just so poor.
Now, Tony Khan, see, you put yourself on stage as the owner of the company, which means you're running the company, right? You put yourself out there these moments. Why aren't you out there in other moments would be my big question. You want the big high-profile special moments to make you feel like you're getting some type of up. But when other stuff's going down, where are you? And is AEW still the safest place to work in wrestling? Just saying. So after the advertised matches of 0 Hour, they decided we needed more 0 Hour matches. And so they figured, the top selling merchandise guys in AEW, the Outrunners, needed to get in here. So we got the Outrunners teaming with the conglomeration of Kyle O'Reilly and Orange Cassidy to take on the premier athletes of Tony Nese and Arya Daivari and the Dark Order, John Silver and Alex Reynolds. Ring of Honors. Anyways. Outrunners conglomeration win. I don't know what you want me to tell you about this.
The Orange Runners?
The 1980s Outrunners are here to make the big moments. I don't know. Anyways, you guys have anything you want to add to this?
Moving on.
Anything to get Orange Cassidy on the card, right?
Exactly.
Or at this point, the Outrunners.
Yes, that too.
Yeah.
Mr. Z, in the moment I think you probably hung your head again, we were backstage with Renee Paquette, and she's talking to Kazuchika Okada, who doesn't have a match tonight, but he's here to support the Elite. This is when Kyle O'Reilly walks up and out of respect asks for a match. And Okada says he'll think about it, and then goes, hell no. Then turns to walk away, then turns around and does his classic AEW catchphrase, bitch. O'Reilly says he'll try a different way and then attacks him. Christopher Daniels shows up and throws them both out of the building.
Oh, sure. If Christopher Daniels shows up for this.
Yeah.
But another movie.
Well, it was Christopher Daniels when CM Punk went wild backstage. Anywho, we won't go there. But, I don't know why we had this segment except to get Okada on TV to make Mr. Z mad. Mr. Z, I think Tony Khan intentionally did that for you. He's intentionally trying to trigger
Khan's
you.
gonna need to start paying for the amount of whiskey I digest through his shows because it's a lot. And it used to be to have a good time, and now it's just out of straight depression.
Oh.
That's what's going on over here.
It hurts to laugh. It's not fun. Taking all the fun out of it. I can't even...
Nobody told you. No, we warned you. We warned you.
Okay,
we told you.
You
we
weren't...
told you.
Okay.
Don't egg Jekyll's.
I didn't
Jekyll's
do
on.
anything to egg on Jekyll's, okay? I did exactly what I was instructed to do. I was given his announcements on how to announce him. I don't know who set me up for that. But I was turning to walk out of the ring, and the man viciously and violently attacked me for no reason. And I am going to require retribution. We are going to have to talk to the higher-ups at SPW, whether that's President Miller or the Booker man. But I think we need security posted at our desk, at least for that match.
I could think of one person who would set you up. I could think one person that would set you up. And he's right above. He's right below you on the big screen here. The other founder of Value of Wrestling. Maybe he quietly made the phone call.
How dare you, sir, make such an allegation, false allegation. I have been friends with Big Tyme for decades. This is not a wrestling angle. I don't play. Ain't nobody paying me for nothing. And some of us have more honor than that.
How do I know you didn't?
Not an AEW fan, so I got no reason to do it.
How do I not know that you, Mr. Z, didn't set me up yourself? How do we know this isn't payback because you're taking these choppies and you feel like you how do I know you didn't talk to Jekyll's behind my back at this event to set this up?
Wait a minute. Maybe Chima set you up because he wasn't happy about that sign.
But you were the one holding the sign when he tore it up, so. I know a little bit about Chima because I got to talk to Chima being as the ring announcer. I got to be with backstage with the boys, so I did get to talk to Chima a little bit. Chima's not very happy with you, so I know that much.
That's okay.
But how do I know you didn't set me up?
Who is happy with
I love how you tried to throw Mr. Clarke under the bus. And now you're trying to throw Chima under the bus, making it very, very suspect that maybe you, sir, are the culprit. Of course, again, I firmly believe Jekyll's acted on his own volition.
I did it for The Rock.
Ow.
Well, yeah.
You can't make me laugh. That's not right. Ow. Mm. It hurt.
Well, you weren't the only one he attacked. He attacked security. He attacked the former president.
Yes, he
So
did.
that was on him.
He did attack people at the last show for SPW Plead the Fifth, and he did attack people at Collectible Stampede. He attacked a couple people at that show. Anyways, back to WrestleDreams. We're going to get through this. We opened the main show with a decent match. Hangman Adam Page versus Jay White. A decent, solid match here. Definitely a back and forth. In the end, I think they did the right thing. White Page tried to launch himself into a buckshot lariat, but was caught by White. White hit Blade Runner, got the 1, 2, 3. Jay White, the big winner tonight, getting a win on the show. Very impressive. He did say afterwards that the first man on his list is marked off, but now the second man needs to be weary of him and watch his back in a post-show interview. But yeah, Jay White with a big win here. I think it was the right move. It was a decent match. Nothing wrong with this match necessarily. I just don't know what you do with Hangman now. It's interesting. But yeah, Jay White with a solid win here. Your thoughts, gentlemen?
I enjoyed this match. I love this match, and the right guy won over, and it was on the main card, not Mr. 0 Hour crap.
For once, the wrestling gods did something right. Gave the right man the win and made him look fucking great. Oh.
Bask in the glory.
Content with that.
Bask in the glory of it for now, because you don't know how long it's going to last.
Fair.
I know, but I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be happy while
No, be happy.
Because I've not... There's not much that my son pops for on AEW anymore, except for Jay White winning tonight. Like, he was super juiced about that.
That's good. That's good. Hey, wait a minute. What if Tony made the call? What if Tony is so afraid of Marty Richards?
Oh, snap.
He hired Jekyll's, and Jekyll's just got confused.
You do call your son El Jefe.
Oh, yeah, it's true. I could check his phone records. I mean, I do have that.
I think we need to check into that. Maybe El Jefe is behind all of this. And now you can tell your son he's been brought into his storyline.
If he made the call, Tony. I'm wondering where he got the money to pay off Jekyll's.
Well, if he made the call, he better be
missing some money out of my account, though.
Yeah, well, if he made the call, he might want to be very, very careful, because I think he got the wrong man targeted. I think, he wanted the Jekyll's to go after Marty, not me. And if Marty finds out about that, I don't know what might happen.
Send a message to Marty.
Well, I'm sure Marty's watching somewhere
Also consider
in his temple, in his church.
Yeah.
Not all currency is money.
Man.
So I don't think El Jefe has the money, but a good sob story from a child. Let's think about that for a second.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Pull at the heartstrings.
But I didn't.
Yeah.
I haven't done anything to Tony. I've been good to Tony. It may have been on a Marty. Why did I have to get attacked? Wrong guy, wrong place, right? Okay. Anyway. Again, I think.
There you go.
Again, I did. Tony, we're just messing with you. I don't think you had anything to do with it. Jekyll's pretty much I think this is just who Jekyll's is. I was just the wrong man in the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't know if I didn't enunciate the freak loud enough, or enunciated Jekyll's in the right way, or if I was just there and he just didn't like me because I was there. I mean, he's beating up the president of SPW, he's beating up security, he's beating up the SPW champion without reason. He viciously attacked the Dark Fox Illumine. So, I mean, who knows? Yeah. Jekyll's is a wild, crazy freak. Anyway,
he's a wild card.
WrestleDream.
Yeah, he is.
The AEW Women's Title match online. Mariah May, Will Nightingale. They had a decent match in the ring. You kind of feel sad for Will Nightingale, looking like she was getting this big push, making this big thing, feeling great and special, and she kind of gets fed here to Mariah May for no real good reason. I think this was supposed to be for Britt Baker. Originally, Britt Baker down with strep throat, so they threw Will Nightingale in there, which I'm kind of like, could we have thrown some? I mean, could we put Saraya in here, and at least Saraya could have eaten the loss, and maybe it would have been better. Will Nightingale, hell, could we put Nyla Rose, because she was in that 4-way. I mean, it's just like, I don't feel like feeding Will Nightingale was the best thing here. I figured there's a couple other people that you could at least fed into this since Britt Baker was out sick. But it was a good match. I mean, the match was decent. Go ahead, Mr. Clarke.
Let's be honest. You would be complaining no matter who they put in there.
Not necessarily.
I don't believe that for a second, just based off of your patterns. But anywho, I called this on the prediction show.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I felt like it was going to be a good match. It was a good match. Yeah. But I also felt like Mariah May was going to go over.
Oh yeah. Well, we knew.
You can see just based on the story they're telling is the eventual turnaround back to Toni Storm.
Yeah.
Mariah May keeps doing Toni Storm's mannerisms. She uses the Storm Zero. Like, it's going long enough to have her have a decent reign with the title. Now, whether Toni Storm takes the title off her, I don't know. But you know you're heading towards that big money match again.
Yeah.
At some point down the line.
But no, I may have complained saying Nyla Rose didn't deserve to be there, but at least I would have been happy with her eating the loss. I may have said Saraya doesn't necessarily deserve to be there, but I would have been happy with her taking a loss. It's just like, why does Will Nightingale need to take that? Why? You know, Will Nightingale looks good. Why put her in this match? Just going in to completely lose it without any real good reason. It would be. I would have complained if they would have put Jamie Hayter in here. I mean, there's not somebody else on the women's division they could add filled in for Britt Baker to take an L that it wouldn't really have hurt kind of the momentum they had built up.
And see, and that's why I think I disagree with you. Even though Willow took the loss tonight, I don't think it hurts her popularity.
Oh, it doesn't hurt her popularity.
She has been getting that groundswell for. What I mean by popularity in this case is the idea that it's not going to hurt her credibility. Also, the fans are so invested in her that she's gonna, go. She's gonna be over with the fans, have a connection with the fans, regardless.
And I agree with you there. She's gonna be over with the fans. I guess I'm looking at it from the booking end that when people are fed in like this, that they just kind of fall off the pace. It's like, I'm tired of seeing champions in AEW who had a title run, lose their title, and then they're sporadically used with no real purpose. Now with the fans, it's whole different story. She's over with the fans. Fans love her and she's great, and I think she needs to be used more prominently in the booking style. Like, give the fans what they want more.
Mm-hmm.
I look at it from booking because it's the fans I know love her. She deserves everything. She should be a champion. The booking is what always worries me because there's one man behind that booking table. And it got so bad that Jimmy Jacobs either quit, fired, or whatever the story is that we haven't gotten to the bottom of. But we might talk about that more tomorrow on the Weekly Roundup. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back for a third straight night.
Yeah. 3 nights in a row, this beautiful face. Well.
Anyways, in the biggest collision match of the night. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, as I agree with you totally. There's other women that could have ate this loss. I feel like with the fans, you're going to piss them off if you're gonna have one of their fan favorites eat a loss for no reason.
Yeah.
And Willow Nightingale is like you said, super over with the fan base. Like, to have that much energy every week and have the same reaction every week is great. And they want to see her go over. But if they're going to keep seeing her eat losses, they're going to end up turning on Tony as well. They're going to be like, all right, well, you're just purposefully wrecking who we like at this point.
And you can tell that she has the fan favorites, but if you watch this match back, there wasn't a lot of fan interaction in this match. The fans were very melancholy for most of this match. They might pop in high spot moments, but you really weren't getting the pop that I felt this should. That's where I get a little worried, where he's making a point. It's like, if everybody knows what's going to happen, then nobody's excited for it in that sense. And that's where I think Tony Khan's got to be careful. If you throw somebody out there that it's like, oh, she's getting fed, we don't care, we can go to the bathroom. When you use somebody the fans love, I think it starts getting to them because they're like, oh, you're just, we care about her, but you don't, so why stay invested sometimes if you keep doing it? It's my only concern there. In the biggest Rampage match of the night, because I don't know who cared about this, and then it got foreshadowed by a bunch of other crap, Jack Perry defending against the wrestler Katsuyori Shibata. They gave a little bit of the history story here to at least make it feel valid. But it wasn't a great match. I mean, Shibata's good. Jack Perry's just kind of, they didn't blend perfectly in some of these spots. In the end, Shibata, and I don't know how Mr. Z is going to feel about this, but basically Shibata lost the match all by himself. Shibata locked in the sleeper and grapevines Jack Perry, and then lays down on the mat and puts his shoulders down for the 1, 2, 3. The referee counts the 1, 2, 3 into sleeper hold. Shibata loses. Jack Perry wins by a Shibata mistake. The wrestler. And not only that, to go back to the Harley Cameron Anna Jay match, did anybody notice when the ref had to put down Harley Cameron's other shoulder to actually count the pin? It's out on review. You can find it on Twitter. The ref actually pushed her shoulder down, then counted the 1, 2, 3. But anyways, no. Jack Perry's still your TNT champion, which we're not surprised about. But this really made Katsuyori Shibata look stupid. And that's where I get pissed off. It's like, there's a way to do it where it looks accidental, but this was like totally blatant. He had him in the sleeper hold. He's just laying there. And the rest counting to 1, 2, 3. You can't tell me Katsuyori Shibata didn't think of it. It just hurts me. Like, could we have not at least maybe got a rope pin or a roll up, or could something a little more than just a blatant? I mean, it's horrible. And there's more details after this we'll get into, but let's talk about the match, gentlemen.
First thing is, I have been waiting for somebody to pull this particular booking move. That someone got so obsessed with the submission maneuver that it didn't dawn on them. I think this was a great story point, really. Because usually, like you said, you usually see the person kick out, get out, whatever, because, they hear the 1, 2, like, but I better get off my shoulder up. The fact that he was so obsessed with trying to submit him that he lost, to me, it's like, you don't really see this often. So I saw this was a good thing.
Well, the last time I seen this was what Shayna and who was it? Becky Lynch was the last time I seen someone so obsessed with submission maneuver that they rolled it up. They pulled the old Roddy Piper, Bret Hart. So I get it. It makes sense, but the way they did it makes Shibata look clownish.
And of course,
so you're saying it's not necessarily the move, but the execution of it.
Yes. I could agree with your point on the move, but I'm just kind of like, I wish it wouldn't have been Shibata, because Shibata's a wrestler, and it's just, But then we found this match was apparently.
They could have made it look so much. They could have made it look so much better instead of just him laying back and pinning himself.
Yeah. But then we found out this match was basically a throwaway match, that the match wasn't really the issue. It was the after match, because Perry goes to attack Shibata after the match. He has Shibata, he has the belt, looks like he's going to hit Shibata when Daniel Garcia's music hits, and Daniel Garcia comes rushing down the ring. Now Daniel Garcia admitting that he has re-signed with AEW and wants title gold, because that's the mission he's on. He's going to win gold. So he confronted Jack Perry, which was good. And they dig deep, hit the airwaves, and we got the return of MJF, who came out and made a straight beeline to Daniel Garcia, and then took out Garcia, and then talked about, he took Garcia's attention away from Jack Perry, because Jack Perry looked like he was going to leave, and Jack Perry came back and hit Daniel Garcia with the belt. MJF finished off Daniel Garcia on the mat, then talked about, oh, thank you for letting me know my diamond ring was in a pawn shop in Buffalo. He got his ring back. He pulls it out of his pocket. He talks about Daniel Garcia having a fake bidding war of 2024. And he's about to go hit Daniel Garcia with the diamond ring when we hear the boom. Yes, so Daniel Garcia, MJF, and now we got Adam Cole. Looks like he's cleared to make his return. He comes out to lock eyes with Maxwell. Maxwell leaves. Cole helps out Garcia, and now MJF, who was the babyface that got betrayed by the devil, who turned out to be Adam Cole, who was the heel. Now that MJF is the heel, or was the babyface, and when Adam Cole last returned when he wasn't cleared and MJF took him out, now that MJF's the heel and Adam Cole's coming back, now he's the babyface. So the devil is the good guy that betrayed his best friend, and we're supposed to root for Adam Cole to take vengeance on MJF, even though Adam Cole is the one that did MJF dirty, and that means the Undisputed Kingdom is a meaningless joke of nothing. Wardlow is playing dodgeball in some random city somewhere on some league. And Matt Taven and Mike Bennett and Mike Taven are the only members left of Undisputed Kingdom, relegated to being the other jobbers on AEW TV. And so great, Adam Cole's back. That should be great for AEW Wrestling. But trying to get back into the MJF storyline now, like, you want me to just go, okay, I want Adam Cole to go beat MJF's butt because MJF took him out last time, even though MJF owed Adam Cole a receipt, kind of, when he took him out. Like, it's hard to go, okay, yeah, this... Go ahead.
Do you feel like you're at one of those conspiracy boards where you have the red going just everywhere?
Oh, yes. Yes, with this storyline, yes. Because it's just like...
Jeez. On one hand, I'm happy to see Adam Cole back, but I'm supposed to buy him as a face? Really? Just because MJF happens to be heel at the moment?
Yes, that we're supposed to buy in the storyline that we should back up Adam Cole for what MJF did to Adam Cole. The last time we saw Adam Cole on TV, when that was MJF getting his comeuppance for what Adam Cole did to him at the beginning of the year, costing him the title, right? Right. Exposing himself as the devil. It's like... Adam Cole brought it on to himself, so I mean, he really doesn't have any reason to be mad at MJF. Like, can we make the booking at least make sense, or like, could we at least have Adam Cole go deal with somebody else right now instead of MJF? Like, but yeah, Tony Khan blew his load in one aftermatch with not one, not two, but three big pops. Your thoughts on this, gentlemen, other than the conspiracy board theory?
I don't even know what to say.
I was going to say, honestly, I think I said it in the chat. I think I said it in the chat, the loudest pop of the night was Adam Cole. Like, I don't even think AEW's ever heard that loud of a pop in ever.
Quite.
Yeah, they did. They did. There was a day in Chicago, Illinois, where the roof blew off the place for AEW. I'm sorry. There was one man.
Yeah.
There was one man who showed up for this company that, who got that 7-year return pop. That I don't think anybody's had that big of a pop yet. Now, Adam Cole had a great pop tonight, but yeah.
No.
Mercedes Moné doesn't get that type of pop, that's for sure. And then she didn't even make the show, and
She's probably back there wondering, how can I get that?
No, she was kicked out of the building after she fought with Queen what's her name?
Right.
Aminata, because she wanted her own church. Anyways.
Mm-hmm.
The AEW International Championship match.
Queen Aminata.
Yes.
Real quick.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, I was at that show. Queen Aminata losing to Julia, who looks like $1 million on NXT right now.
Oh, damn, does she look good. And so does Stephanie Baker.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
The AEW International Championship, Will Ospreay defending the belt against Ricochet and Takeshita.
Yeah.
The mixed feelings about this match. This was a good match. It did get back into a lot of the Circus Olay where they were flipping and flopping and reversing there's some okay of it, but when they're just constantly like rolling over each other's backs and doing flips and landing on feet and, like mid-air reverse, it's like, okay, I get the stunt show. It could be fun for a moment. But at least with Takeshita in this, it made it a little more serious because it wasn't just Ricochet and, Will Ospreay reversing each other.
Right.
So it was a little better in this one. Ricochet got no pop, really. He got a brief in the beginning. Takeshita kind of got a pop. Ospreay, of course, getting his normal, but his pop is even slowly dying, and I know Mr. Z hurts your feeling, but if you're really paying attention to these shows, Will Ospreay pop is going down, and I don't know how much of his pop is not in his entrance theme. I'm still trying to figure out if the Ospreay chant is the complete crowd, or if some of that is in the music vignette that he comes out to. It's I can't tell 100%. I see people doing it.
At New Japan, it was. I know at New Japan it was the audience, but AEW it's slowly into pipe in music like Mercedes Moné's CEO chant.
Yeah. I mean, there's fans chatting Will Ospreay, but I think some of that isn't in that music. It's a part of it all.
Yes.
But overall, it was a solid match. It kind of got wonky in the end. I don't know if we really needed this to solidify Takeshita. I get it. I'm not going to totally disk it. In the end, the referee is counting to 1-2 after Takeshita took 2 hidden blades. Don Callis puts out the referee. I give it to Nigel McGuinness here going, the referee slipped on something. He just slipped right out of the ring. Funny moment. But Don Callis gets to the ring with the screwdriver, and then a hooded man shows up. It's Kyle Fletcher. He takes out Ospreay and then hits the Tiger Driver on Ospreay and helps Takeshita, who hits the Power Driver knee to get the 1-2-3. Your winner and new international champion, Takeshita. I think actually the Tiger Driver was after the match. Excuse me, but yes, no. The screwdriver and then the Power Drive knee. Takeshita getting the title. Right move in that sense. I wish they would have maybe let Takeshita kind of get a little more of a clean win, just to kind of solidify him as a bigger threat. But I get it. He's with the Don Callis family. He's a heel tactics. Okay. After the match, Kyle Fletcher takes out his best friend, Will Ospreay. My only question here is Kyle Fletcher not part of a team called the United
Empire was the stable.
Yes, the United Empire. Well, he had a tag team partner and I got injured. So is that guy the Marty
Aussie Open?
Yeah, Aussie Open. He was part of Aussie Open, and the other guy is now the Marty Jannetty of this group.
Well, he's been out on injury, so I don't know.
Oh.
Well, but I mean, does he come back and align himself with Kyle Fletcher, or does he align himself with Will Ospreay and all this now?
Only time will tell on that one.
And Kyle Fletcher now the proto star.
It's interchangeable because he's tagged with both of them.
Will Ospreay lost his title. He'll go on to feud with Kyle Fletcher. I guess he's going to try to make Kyle Fletcher a big star. Hopefully it works out in a good way. Don't know if I care right now. That's the only thing. It's like I want it to work. I'm not against it working, but I just don't know if I have all this. It's just kind of weird where we got Kyle Fletcher here. We'll see how it plays out. Hopefully they make it work. I have a hard time believing in Tony Khan's booking. Will Ospreay and his magic and what he can do in the ring should get Kyle Fletcher over, but it's going to also be a lot about the booking.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can do everything in the ring. You can make a man look like $1 million in the ring, but if the booking and the story and the progression's not there, and if he's not booked in the right way, it's all for naught.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and say, especially since I didn't say anything on the prediction show, like I knew this was going to happen. But I'm not surprised either by the years of watching professional wrestling that we have.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
Well, if I remember on the pre-show, you kind of docked. You didn't know if Takeshita could take it, but I did just say it would be the right time for Takeshita to take it because Ricochet or somebody could take the pin. I think we all were looking at Ricochet to take the pin. Shockingly, Ospreay took the pin here. So, I mean, we have to give that. So, no, again, I agree. I'm not surprised. I'm kind of happy. Takeshita is probably the right person to be champion right now with this title. Will Ospreay really didn't need the belt. Ricochet is just not there. I mean,
not hitting.
He's missing, and I think he spends more time on Twitter talking too much and talking himself up that when he gets in the ring, he's not meeting expectations. So it's just not there. But I think this is the right move for Takeshita to make Takeshita the helpmate the Don Callis family. This is a right move. I'm just not completely happy with how the match ended. I would have rather just seen Takeshita do it a little more on his own, just to kind of solidify Takeshita as that big threat.
Especially when you have the moniker the Alpha.
Especially
like,
after he had
y'all.
all that momentum coming from the G1, he was looking like. Go ahead.
No, he's just agreeing with you.
I'm agreeing with you. That's my point.
The Alpha being the Omega, like they were going off of that so much, they couldn't. Yeah.
Anyway,
it is what it is, but
yeah.
I don't know what the heck they're doing. They could have looked so much better.
That's really, I mean, it was a decent match. Takeshita looked good throughout the match. The ending just kind of took me back out of it because I'm just like, maybe, I mean, I get he's a heel. I get he's aligned with Don Callis. I get dirty tricks, but it's like, could he have done it on his own a little more, and then had the after attack? But they did it. They put the belt on the right person.
Yeah.
Backstage, we had
you want to talk about the most cutest segment is what's coming up.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
We had the segment of the night and this backstage moment that made you go, what in the fudge? I didn't know if I should be praising Jerry Lynn or buying him knee pads. And if you get the joke, you get the joke. Anyways, Jerry Lynn is here with Orange Cassidy and Renee Paquette. And Jerry Lynn is just, go get a pound of Orange Cassidy. You can do it. You're always here. You do great things. Yada, yada, yada. And I'm just like, what happened to Mr. JL? This is Mr. Extreme Jerry Lynn. Yay, pal. Hey, buddy. You're good. Don't get down in the dumps. Some rah-rah prep. Why did Orange Cassidy need a rah-rah pep speech? We're way past his best friends turning on him, and now his friend Chris Statlander's babyface, so maybe they can make peace. Chucky T was on the pre-show, and the other guy whose name I can't remember is, I don't know, he had this big storyline, and does anybody know what happened to him? He turned on Orange, and now he's
not a
he was with the Undisputed Kingdom, or was he with the Don Callis family? Oh, I think he was a member of the Don Callis family, last I recall.
As part of the Don Callis family before he just disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they still put missing people on milk cartons? Because somebody needs to do it for Trent Reddick. I mean, that man just. Oof. Did he go meet David Copperfield? And David Copperfield said, "Watch this." Oof. And let me guess, when Trent Beretta returns, he's going to come back as a babyface. And he's just going to make up with Orange Cassidy, and the best friends are going to be back together, and everybody will forget about what happened. Tell me it won't happen. Tony Khan will go, oops.
That sounds like Tony Khan booking.
Tony Khan will go, oops, reset.
That is Tony Khan booking 101, friends.
It's like Tony Khan used to play his E-Fed. When it didn't work out for him, you just hit the reset button and go back, you know?
Jeez.
Damn.
Then somewhere in the midst of this, for some reason, somebody decided Hook needed to walk in and go, you got it, Orange. When this man should
man.
Yeah. When this man should be looking for who attacked his daddy.
So much for looking for the attacker of his dad.
So if anybody knows how to get a stack of knee pads, I know Jerry Lynn needs some, and the Night Hook might have needed a pair in this moment. Tell me when I'm telling lies, okay? Tell me when I'm telling lies. Anybody want to debate me on that one? I mean, I've never seen a rah-rah story harder than Jerry Lynn, and then Hook had to intervene himself, so let's give him a set.
I'm not entirely surprised because this was Jerry Lynn and TNA as well, but there was usually more purpose to it. This, to me, had zero purpose. Like, okay, putting Orange Cassidy over. Whatever. It's like it's not leading to anything that we.
I mean,
the man, Orange.
I would have gotten if Orange Cassidy wouldn't have been on this show anywhere. But I'm like, is it something happened to Orange Cassidy? Is he on a giant losing streak? I mean, this would have made sense a couple months ago when all of his friends left him, but he's got new friends. So it's like, where is this? It's like you can do it, Patty. Don't get down. Put a smiley face on it. Ladies and gentlemen, the new Mr. Rogers, Jerry Lynn. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be mine? Won't you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Come on, Orange, you can be my neighbor. We'll go to the land of make-believe, and it'll all be okay. Rest in peace, Mr. Rogers.
Oh, jeez.
Yes, please. How dare you, sir?
And what turned into a mid-disappointing moment here, we're going to go to the next segment. Prince Nana here. He's selling his coffee. I guess we need to buy it, try it out someday. We're in Tacoma, Washington, the home of Swerve. The fans are more over for Swerve. Especially the sad part, one thing I do got to go back, Hangman Adam Page and Jay White. Jay White didn't get a lot of cheers. There was a slight Sling Blade chant briefly in that show, but most of that match we got to hear Swerve's house. The fans were really going after Hangman during that match, which I was kind of sad because I'm like, can we not give a little respect to Jay White in this match? Like, of course, I know both men kind of seem heels, but, you know, Jay White was babyface by default in that match. Anyways, we're here. We're in Swerve's house. We're in Swerve City. Yeah. Swerve is here. He's talking about, he's kind of in his medical clearing, you know, he's medically cleared, yada, yada, yada. He's talking with Nana. And then out comes MVP and Shelton Benjamin, and I will give them credit. Thank you, MVP, for listening. You finally bought Shelton a better suit, a nice three-piece suit. He looked sharp. He looked like he matched. He looked like he belonged. He didn't look like you sent him down to Goodwill to go buy a suit at the last minute. Anyways, MVP wanted to address things. Swerve, why he hasn't answered his emails, his DMs, yada, yada, yada. They kind of went back and forth. Swerve acted like MVP was right, that Nana had, you know, been part of the problems, but Nana was also the person who got to the top of the mountain, and it's all for Nana, and he's going to stand by Nana. MVP tells him, if you're not with us, you're against us. Everybody was waiting, holding bated breath, thinking Bobby Lashley was going to show up. No, Swerve gets kind of in a pushing, shoving match with Benjamin. Benjamin takes off his jacket and throws a couple of the refs, security guys around. And they eventually back out and leave. MVP's like, no, we're not going to do this here. And MVP and Benjamin leave. Swerve and Nana celebrate in the ring. And I think everybody kind of walked away a little bit disappointed from this because there wasn't the arrival of Bobby Lashley to push the story. There wasn't a lot of heated conflict in this moment. Swerve is probably going to first face Shelton Benjamin. I bet we'll see that in the next couple weeks, or maybe build up to Full Gear. But I don't know if this was a big moment for a pay-per-view. Like, you didn't do anything to capitalize on this at a pay-per-view. I get it's Tacoma. I get it, Swerve's home, but maybe you left out the MVP stuff or something and just give Swerve his moment at home. The rest of it didn't do anything but feel like a segment that should have been regulated to Dynamite or done on Collision that was in the same area.
Yeah.
I didn't, there was nothing. There was just nothing here to really be like, I think people got ready for Lashley to show up. He didn't. I think that was a big letdown if you have Lashley signed. And nothing really progressed out of this. There was a little bit of shoving, but you didn't get much out of it, MVP was still playing Peacekeeper, so.
MVP did make a little bit of sense out of it. And this idea that, like, no, you make him, wait till you get paid, basically. No, whether it be for a match, whatever.
True.
So it's like, MVP did what he could to make it make sense. But yeah, I was one of those people, I was thinking Lashley was going to debut tonight or something. Because
I think we all were at that point. It just didn't pan out. Like, it didn't happen. So
yeah, there's not a payoff to this. Yes, MVP saved it, and that's the one good thing about MVP. With some of the bad booking we see, I think MVP may be able to fill in the loopholes, but I don't know how long he can keep that ship afloat.
Yeah.
Mr. Z,
I'm assuming the point was just to make the team.
Yeah. Mr. Z, are you ready to talk about your favorite match on the card?
Huh.
Ladies and gentlemen, we had the 2 out of 3 falls match between the most basic call you could ever make versus the Beast Mortos. Yes, Hologram. I mean, the basic crater wrestler. I mean, I've never seen such a basic crater wrestler. This is what Tony Khan was creating in like WWE Raw versus SmackDown a few years ago. This is the guy he was creating. And Mr. Z knows, he plays the same games as I do. You could build Hologram on WWE 2K24 right now in probably about 30 seconds.
I just did yesterday. I did yesterday.
Anyways,
safety vest and everything.
This match, Hologram. What is so great about Hologram? This guy just is boring. He looks boring. He wrestles boring. I was a little more impressed with Beast Mortis. There was a nice dive outside the ring where Boris Mortis, for the big man he is, went through the ropes, twisted sideways, and got a body splash. And I was like, hey, Beast Mortis looked impressive. Hologram looked like a joke. And you screwed up because you had Hologram pinned in this match. Now, he didn't lose, so yes, he's undefeated, but you can't say this man hasn't been pinned in AEW. Why would you do that?
Yes.
If you're even in a 2 out of 3 falls match, you would not. I don't. If you're building him to be undefeated as big as they are, because now he's 15-0, and Tony Schiavone sounding like I fell back into 1997-98 WCW, where he's like, and Hologram is 15-0, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm having Goldberg flashbacks to WCW now. Great, but why would you like? Why would I get in a 2 out of 3 falls match? You usually want to go all 3 falls, make it interesting. But I think this was really stupid because you cannot actually say that Hologram has not been pinned in AEW because now he has. So he can be undefeated. He's been pinned. I'm like, why would you even do that? I would have had Hologram win the first 2 falls and move on. Not like you're really presenting Beast Mortis as anything particular. And Beast Mortis is a part of LFI, right? And LFI is now managed by Jake the Snake Roberts. We just found out that on Dynamite. Where was Roberts? Where was Jake the Snake Roberts? He's a new manager. Why was he out here managing his guy? You guys can tell me your thoughts on this match.
This literally was a bathroom break match for me. And I like Beast Mortos. But
Hologram is terrible.
His wrestling's okay.
It's Sin Cara light.
It's the most generic looking mask, and it's like presentation means something to us.
I'm telling you, he's the easiest call ever made. I mean, Tony Khan has no, and if you don't know what call means, it's crater wrestler. Anyways, yeah. I mean, that's everybody can create this guy in any wrestling game. Bad, and he's just boring. He is like Sin Cara, Mystico Sin Cara, not Hunico.
Well,
not Hunico Sin Cara.
Oh, I was gonna say I have I have that AEW game somewhere around here. I might create them out of boredom tonight on there if I can.
That game sucks.
If
And
they haven't uploaded the new roster like they will do.
that game sucks. That game is horrible. It is a miserable game. Thank God I got it for free, but that game sucks so badly. And they're and Fight Forever 2 got canceled.
Mhm.
So that tells you there. All right, in the Darby Die match, because Darby Allin has this undeniable death wish in wrestling. I mean, he's like Jeff Hardy, but now he's got to one-up Jeff Hardy. I get Jeff had to one-up Mick Foley, and Mick Foley had to one-up Terry Funk, but I mean, I get it. Back in the day, I think maybe we were a little more okay with it, but now that we know more, and we look at it slightly different, I don't know. And I guess because some of us are parents, so we just don't want our kids trying some of this crap at home. I don't know. It's just like, does he need to do this insane stuff every single time? Like, it's Darby Allin and Brody King was a good match. I will give that. It was a good, solid match. There was a beautiful spot here. Luckily, Darby Allin knocked Brody King off. Brody King has enough padding to him as a big boy to land on the steel steps. Darby Allin then hit a coffin drop completely on Brody King. There was so much of Brody King to land on that he was fine. It didn't phase him, but
Yeah.
and then the referee got to a 10 count when Brody King got in the ring and Darby Allin hit a coffin drop on Brody King as he crawled back in the ring, rolled him over, got to 1, 2, 3. Darby Allin getting a win. Since the history is Darby Allin, or out of the 7 prior matches these two had faced each other, Brody King had won 6 of them. So now they have 8 matches. Brody King's won 6, Darby Allin's won 2. After the match, Brody King crawled back in the ring and shook the hand of Darby Allin. I don't know if the House of Black is still a thing. They did say that he was honoring the House of Black, not representing, but he was honoring the House of Black, which was a weird statement. But I don't know if Brody King's out of the House of Black, maybe, and they're going to humanize him a little more. That's okay. If he's with the House of Black, I don't know if I want to see him humanized, because with the House of Black, they're supposed to be kind of monsters in a way. But you know, it is what it is. It was a good, solid match. I'll give that to it. But can we turn down Darby Allin just a little bit, please, Darby? Just a little bit, not every time. Wait till those big moments. Sort of. No more hanging upside down, please. Go ahead, Mr. Clarke.
Uh-oh.
I agree that Darby Allin should tone down a little bit just for his overall career, let alone quality of life.
Yes.
But this particular match, I 100% agree with what Darby did. He had to throw himself at the bigger man. He had to do whatever thing he could do to get that man, to get that pin. I was odd, especially with Brody King taking that bump onto the steel steps, and then Darby hitting his not trust fall. I'm sorry, coffin drop on him.
Coffin drop.
Yeah, but I was like, for once, this Darby Allin match made sense to me. He doesn't always need to do this shit.
No.
But this one, I applaud him. I'm glad he's okay. So obviously he's still walking around. So it's kind of like all's well that ends well.
If I think you hit the nail right on the head there, Big Time. If they're gonna humanize Brody, then that's fine. But we have to see if he's with the House of Black or not. But other than that, I mean, Darby, I'm begging, man, stop doing that coffin drop all the time excessively, or even some of the other monstrous bumps you're taking, because all it's going to take is one miscue, and you know, just like the big plate of glass you dove into, you get her a little more seriously than you should.
Anyway, so we've had 100 people come through here. If you're here, please hit that like button. We need to get those likes up. But we thank you for stopping by, checking us out, and what we had to say. And a good solid match between Darby Allin and Brody King. It'll be interesting to see what they're going to do with Brody King, now that they kind of show more of this humanizing side, showing respect for Darby Allin. Nothing necessarily wrong with it. It's just the character that Brody King's been playing has been a monster. Once you start humanizing a monster, you got to kind of take them in a different direction. And with the theory that we don't know where the House of Black stands, we don't know where Malachi Black is going, and we don't know the definition of Buddy Murphy if he has resigned or not resigned. We just got to be cautious on what we do.
Let's also consider, though, that we may have already got a little bit of foreshadowing based on his entrance gear tonight.
Yes, he didn't come out House of Black, Brody King. That is for sure. I did notice that.
He came back in. He came out NJPW Santino Bros. Brody King. That's how he looked tonight.
Anyways,
From my perspective.
Moving on to the AEW World Tag Team match, the Young Buckaroos, the Tampon Bucks, the Jerk Off Bucks, the Bucks versus Private Party. Anyways, we opened, the Young Bucks came out to the music first, and then we opened to another vignette where Amazing Red, who helped train Private Party and a lot of other great names in the industry today, gave this big, long pep talk to these guys, and they got you hyped up, and I was like, well, if they're going this far, maybe they're going to give Private Party these titles. From the beginning of the match, I'm kind of like, well, maybe they're going to do this. Because why have all this big package deal with Amazing Red giving a big pep talk and bringing in Amazing Red for this vignette and doing all this? Because I'm like, this should serve a purpose, right? Stokely Hathaway was at ringside. They made the little thing about, hey, Stokely's here, and the Private Party turned him down. And of course, Top Flight was outside the ring, who has, felt like they should have been there, and they were robbed. So they created a lot of what could happen in this match, and none of that played into a damn thing. Stokely, Top Flight, none of it played into a damn thing. So why were they at ringside? Make it make sense. I don't like when WWE does it unless it's like the Legends. That's a little different. If it's a legend, a Hall of Famer, I can get why they're in the audience. It makes sense. To have these other parties at ringside and not have them play any role in any of this for any reason, it's dumb. The match was good. Again, it was, a lot of these high spots. Lets everybody get their move in. A lot of time spent trying to get Private Party over in a match that was quickly built to, and a team that has had nothing behind them. Like, you have not done anything to make anybody believe going into this match that they were going to win. The only reason anybody would believe they were going to win was because of the pre-hype package you created, and then you pretty much had them have every near fault in the book. And yeah, I think you pissed off your audience because they were all excited because at one point it looked like they counted a 3, and it wasn't a 3. And in the end, TK Driver, 1, 2, 3. The Booch Bucks are still champions for no reason. This match took the steam out of everything. You could have made the Private Party, though they hadn't really been anything, if they would have won this match the way you played this match and built this match, it would have been, I think people would have been okay with it. I think people would have been ready for it. You had the opportunity and you blew it. And now Private Party's back to being chump change. They'll be regulated to Rampage, and maybe nobody cares. And who do you have left for the Young Bucks to face? Who's going to be this mighty team that's going to come out and take out the Young Bucks and take these tag titles away from them? And if you give me freaking FTR Young Bucks part 1,715 million, fuck off, Tony Khan.
All right.
I mean, who do they have that's going to beat the Bucks at this point? Top Flight before tonight really hadn't been in the position to be viable, but the way they opened this match with the Amazing Red vignette and the way this match played out, where they kept looking like they were going to pull it out by hook or crook, you're like, oh, okay, maybe they're going to swerve us. Maybe they're going to do this. And then at the end, we kept the titles on the Young Bucks. For what purpose? Ow.
Maybe Omega and Tanahashi-san.
No, Omega is going to be... I thought Omega is going to be getting back with the Bushi. That's what I'm hearing. The Golden Lovers are going to come back. Oh, yeah, that's right. The Golden Lovers are supposed to come back soon and take out the... Okay. What they freaking do. Your thoughts, gentlemen?
None.
You kind of took the words out of my mouth, pretty much.
You sure you guys want me to move
Fans
on?
were ready for it, and they couldn't.
Yes.
Please.
The Ring of Honor
Move
World
that match.
Title is on the line. Mark Briscoe, Chicken Little versus the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho. Yes, Chris Jericho had a chicken pecking under his tree. I'll give this a solid match. Briscoe looked decent here. End of the day, Briscoe wins, retains. Jericho took the J Driller and the Froggy Bow. I just don't know if there's a lot to get excited there. Yes, Briscoe beating Jericho might be a big deal, but I don't know if it really elevated him anymore. I think more of it's not that it elevated him, but I don't know if there'll be any follow through. He'll be back to playing back up to Orange Cassidy and Conglomeration, and it is kind of like this match was for nothing. Jericho didn't win, thank God.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was a good match.
Yeah.
Mark Briscoe looked good throughout this match. She definitely hung in there with Jericho on that level. So that was nice to see. They played too much homage to Jay in this. I get kind of the storyline. Jericho brought Jay into this. But if Mark Briscoe's ever really going to feel like he's going to make it on his own, he's got to get out from under his brother's storyline and become Mark Briscoe on his own. It's like, I get the tragedy with his brother, yes. Jay Briscoe, rest in peace. Much respect, but at some point I got to feel like Mark Briscoe and keep going back to his brother. Like, let's make Mark Briscoe now. Let's move forward.
Well, I think Cornette said it best: is you can make you can make Mark Briscoe look like the Wild Eye Southern Boy. He's by himself now. He's solo. You can make him a wild man at this point. But Tony doesn't know how to do that. He doesn't. So we're just going to keep getting rinse and repeat, unfortunately.
And the weird part about that, though, is Tony Khan owns the Ring of Honor tape library. He has the original ROH can show him how it's done. So the fact that he doesn't do it, I don't get.
You can Google it.
Anyways, anything you want to add, Mr. Clarke?
Happy for Mark. The right guy went over right way. He went over the right way as well.
Yes.
But like I'm with you on. I don't know what the follow going to be, if there's going to be any follow up to begin with.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the most disappointing. But for tonight, I'm very happy for Mark Briscoe.
Yes. No, tonight was good. Good, solid match. It's just you're looking forward going, I don't know if it means anything. And that's the sad part. AEW World Championship. Bryan Danielson putting his title and career basically on the line against Jon Moxley. As Danielson said, as soon as he loses his title, his full-time in-ring career will be over. So, doesn't mean he won't still wrestle. He's not completely retired, but his full-time in-ring career will be over. Moxley comes out. We get the final countdown. And we get a good solid match between two friends that definitely came up. Moxley beating down a very injured, working over the neck, telling the story about working over the neck, the injured neck of Bryan Danielson that we know he needs surgery on so bad. The story goes on and on and on. It was good. It was strong. Danielson counters, hits a power driver. Both men get back up. It is a back and forth fight. We get to the outside where Marina Shafir had ripped up the padding. We get a backdrop onto the hard concrete. Eventually, Moxley hits a Death Rider on there. He gets a Gotch style pile driver. Danielson struggles to fight, but Danielson goes into the Bulldog after a Gotch style pile driver. Danielson struggling, he fights it, but he's fading, and that's it. Danielson's out. The referee calls for the match. This match has been really good, and all of a sudden, Moxley locked in the choke, and the ref just called it. It did kind of take me out of the moment because I was kind of in the match. It was a good match, and then Danielson was in it, and it was just like, he's out. And you're like, what? Hold on. What? This is how this big ending to Danielson's in-ring career is coming to an end. Like, I was kind of like, I feel a little let down in that. But your winner and new AEW champion, Jon Moxley. Marina Shafir did get kicked out of ringside area. The fans did chant "Shana na 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 na" goodbye to her. Match was good. Let's talk about the match before we talk about all the after crap.
It was everything I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
As violent. Now they could have possibly put blood in it, but it wasn't necessary.
Thank God.
It was
Moxley,
as violent as it needed to be. Didn't need to bleed.
Yeah, Moxley didn't need to bleed. A match where Moxley didn't bleed. There you go.
It was as strong style as you can get without doing the extra stuff.
Yeah.
That to me is what it was.
Mr. Z, your thoughts on the match?
To me, this was a perfect example of a New Japan style hybrid match. Had a little bit of strong style, had a little bit of American in it. It went back and forth. I felt, but just the big letdown was them calling for the bell when they did. There could have been a little more to that, but it took, I was deeply invested. I already know what was going to happen. It just, I was just a letdown with the ending.
I don't think we knew exactly that Moxley was going to win. I didn't know which way this was going to go. It was very hard to tell.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell from our prediction show, I said, I don't know which way they're going to go. I kind of had an inkling that might go Moxley's way, but I could never for sure. I could not say for sure.
Yeah.
And that's why I started looking at
as you guys said, there was no blood, which was amazing. You could tell a story without all of that, without Moxley bleeding buckets like he normally does. Yeah, I mean, it was a great story. You couldn't have asked for a better one from both of these guys.
So, the after match. Rhea Shafir reappeared. Pac, Claudio Castagnoli all come back down to celebrate. They take the AEW World title and shove it in a black bag and zip it up and hand it off. I believe Pac had it. They pull out, Marina Shafir pulls out another plastic bag and hands it to Moxley, and everybody goes, great, we're going to repeat it. Not that it was that great the first time. Why are we going to repeat the same thing we did at the very last pay-per-view? Like, why do we need to do this again? Luckily, we got Darby Allin and Wheeler Yuta to come down to ringside. It looked like they were going to stop the plastic bag scene. I was like, okay, maybe this is it. Then Darby Allin was confronting and trying to chase off the group. While Wheeler Yuta was checking on Bryan Danielson, and then I noticed something funky about Wheeler Yuta. He was staring more at the back of Darby Allin. Darby Allin slowly turns to get a knee in the face from Wheeler Yuta. Wheeler Yuta turns on Darby Allin somewhat reluctantly. I don't know what's going on with this man. Then he stands next to Moxley. Moxley gives him the plastic bag, and Wheeler Yuta commits the ultimate sin by wrapping the plastic bag around the head of Bryan Danielson. I guess Bryan Danielson needs to change his name from the American Dragon to the American Kitty Cat because his mother trucker has 9 lives as he gets choked out again by a plastic bag. Jeff Jarrett, Private Party come down. They get beaten down. After the match, they take off the plastic, or afterwards, they take the plastic bag off. Claudio yells at Moxley. They wrap a chair around him, and they hit a Pillmanizer on Danielson, taking him out for good. Eventually, OC comes down. Garcia's out here. Adam Cole, Hook, a whole array of superstars finally come down to the ring. No authority figure, no Christopher Daniels, no Tony Khan. Nobody of relevance who's an authority figure comes down the ring to do anything about this. But yeah, all these wrestlers come down. They chase them away. This time they bring out a stretcher. They put Danielson on a board, and they're carting him away. The show keeps going. The Blackpool Combat Club 2.0 is walking out of the building. Everybody's waiting for Shane McMahon to pop up. Everybody's waiting for something to finish here. The show is still going as they're showing Brian laying in the ring with a breathe bag and being stretchered out. And then they show Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin looking like they just got done watching the moment in Land Before Time when Littlefoot loses his mom. Or maybe they just got done watching. Maybe they just got done watching a never-ending story and they got to the part where the horse gets stuck in the mud. Or they watched Disney's Lion King and watched Mustafa die. I don't know. They sat there looking sad, and then the show just went off the air, and you're kind of like, all right. We got nothing for nothing, and it ending that yes, I guess it's going to get you to talk, and hopefully it's going to get you to tune in to Dynamite, because they desperately need people tuning in to Dynamite, apparently, which we'll talk about tomorrow on the weekly roundup. Against Dynamite doing 329,000. It's not the numbers they want to see after getting the bag, but yeah, a very, I don't know why we needed to do the plastic bag thing again. I get it to take out Danielson completely. I mean, why not just do the Pillmanizer then? I don't know. The plastic bag thing is just like, yeah. Because the only thing I see there is everybody reenact some of this shit at home, and there's too many dumb people. Come on, we got a generation that was eating Tide Pods. You don't think there's a generation out here going, oh, let me take a plastic bag, put it over my friend's head. Ah! It's going to come back to bite you. Anyways, your thoughts, gentlemen, on this aftermath, after party, after whatever you want to call it.
You see my tweet? It was trash. That's it. It was trash.
Since the point to me was to finalize, like, we are writing the ending to Bryan Danielson's full-time career. However you gotta do, plus it still gives way to further stories for the rest of the roster. I guess I didn't judge it as harshly.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. I think the Pillmanizing was better than doing the bag the second time. But writing him off TV, or writing him off out of the promotion, for however long. I thought overall, like they served their point.
Yeah, no, I'm for what they did.
A stupid question.
You'll get a stupid answer.
Was it a hefty bag or was it a Ziploc bag they used this time? Sorry.
It looked like a bag you put your fruit in. I don't know.
At the grocery store.
Wimpy.
Oh, jeez.
Anyways, I think they could have done without having to do the bag again. I thought they got enough backlash the first time. I'm like, you could have done the Pillmanizing, and that would have taken them off TV. Why did we need another choking them out and show it? And then AEW, after the show, goes on to their X and announces, we will not be showing the graphic footage of tonight's closings of the show. And it's like, but you just showed it and you stayed with it forever. Like, after it was all said and done, you still stayed on Danielson in the ring being carted out. So if it was so graphic, why did you let the show run on forever? Why not just cut it off? If it's so graphic, why didn't you just go to black in the middle of the attack? That would have really got fans talking, because then everybody would have known what happened. But anyways, no, I don't get why you're going to go on X and make it seem like, well, we're not going to show the video footage, and now you're going to cancel off of everybody who's showing it on X. You're going to go around and ban it because you don't want that graphic footage out there. And Tony Khan, is AEW the safest place to wrestle anymore? I mean, you've had people lit on fire. You've had a guy choked out twice in a plastic bag. You've had a man hung upside down from his feet, bleeding out. I mean,
yeah.
You had a cowboy take out a Swerve in a very violent way with needles. I mean, is AEW that safe anymore?
That was WrestleDream, folks.
What a wrestling nightmare. Now, Mr. Z and Mr. Clarke, you guys might answer this. Does tonight's WrestleDream really represent what WrestleDream was created for? I mean, if it's all about Antonio Inoki,
no.
How do you think Antonio Inoki feels about tonight's event?
Disgraced.
I don't know about that, but I mean, when you look at original New Japan stuff, and you're just like, they weren't sports entertainment. They're strong style, not sports entertainment. So I think there's some good intent, but Tony Khan does not know how to execute nothing.
Alrighty. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had 120 people come through. We thank you for being here. If you're still here, please hit that like button. Come back tomorrow when we do our weekly roundup right here at 8 p.m. Pacific time every Sunday, usually, unless there's a wrestling show we're going to. So there will be one this Sunday at 8 p.m. We'll sit down and discuss this week in wrestling, everything from AEW's ratings to their bag, to WWE and storylines there, and any other information and stuff that's coming out in the wrestling world. We're going to cover it all tomorrow on the Weekly Roundup podcast. We will all be here. Yes,
I'll bring it up tomorrow, but there was a big shocker at GCW tonight, so I'll save it for tomorrow.
Bully Ray showed up at GCW.
No.
Oh, there's a bigger shocker?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
To GCW fans, this is huge to them.
Okay. Is it going to be huge to the rest of wrestling fans?
Depends how you look at it.
Well, it depends on how you deliver it.
Yeah, like I said, we'll talk about that tomorrow. That's fair too.
Okay, well, I'll deliver it tomorrow. We'll talk that.
And we'll get to the weekly roundup. We're going to talk about that and so much more stuff tomorrow. And then it'll be another week of Monday Night Raw, SmackDown review shows. The New Japan Rebound podcast coming out on Tuesdays. There should be another New Japan deep dive coming up real soon. And then not this Sunday, not tomorrow, but the Sunday after that, October 20th, it's SPW's Ghouls, Frights, and Wrestling Tight. The Value Wrestling is going to be there live with commentary. We're going to have to put up either some plexiglass or we're going to have to hire bodyguards to keep Jekyll's away from us, but it's going to be a fun time. The biggest event in SPW history, even from Scoot himself. Go check out the Scoop with Scoot. Mr. Z's getting giggles. What did you find on Twitter that's got you chuckling, my friend?
Tony Khan's fans praising him.
No. That happens every day.
A great show.
That's why you got to buy knee pads in bulk. There's just too many people that need to get some knee pads. Anywho, we're going to cover that, but SPW, Ghouls, Frights, and Wrestling Tights, myself, the big man, Mr. Z, the medium-sized man, are going to be there. We're going to be there live. We're going to be giving out stickers, and if you come out and meet with us, we're going to help set up the Sexy Grandpa section. Come talk to us so we can start a Sexy Grandpa section. We got a big surprise for everybody who comes out to Value Wrestling's Ghouls, Frights, and Wrestling Tights on October 20th, Elk Grove, California, Indoor World Soccer Arena. You need to be there. Biggest event SPW this year, if not forever. I mean, it's going to be huge. This coming from Scoot. He gave you the scoop. It's on the channel. If he's saying it's big, it means something big's going down. And, of course, they have that major title match, the SPW title, the undefeated one-year reign of the Dark Fox Illuminate, taking on the jackass, the clown, the circus freak himself, Mr. Little Carneyville, Mr. He Wishes He Was Somebody, Jekyll's. Yes, I know. He may have taken me out. He blindsided me.
You're going to start all...
And it's okay because the big man promised off air that he would take care of Jekyll's if Jekyll's approached the table. So... He says he wants full revenge on you, Jekyll's, for what you did to his partner, that you committed a crime and you're lucky you're not arrested. We've talked to the attorneys, and we were waiting to see what's going to happen. We don't really want to bring the attorneys into it, but for right now, let's see what happens.
Yes. Damn.
I'm going to go take some painkillers.
It's going to be a long day. That's what it's going to be.
Yes, we're going to be there extra early, too. We got a lot of stuff to do on that day. We got to set up, get everything looking pretty, making all sure. We got stickers to give away. There's going to be a Halloween costume contest going down. There's going to be lots of candy. I don't know where all the candy is going to be. But if you come see us, say chop or treat. Yes. And we'll hook you up. We're going to have a fun time. We're going to have a good old time.
We're
going to be there.
In a Rey Mysterio mask. Like, that's going to be fun.
Come out and see our boy... West Coast Ghouls, a shirt, West Coast Designs. There we go. I'm sure it's going to be there, and a lot of great other people are going to be there. It's going to be a fun time. One heck of a time. It's a one-year reign of the Dark Fox Illuminate. That's a big deal. How many times do you hear, at least at that level, a one-year reign as as champion? So, I mean, that's going to be a big deal. Will he retain his titles?
Was the last one to do it.
So... Well, Illuminate, I think, has officially done it, or has nearly done it. He's like at 360-odd days. He's right on the cusp. So at the event, because he won it last year at this very same event by beating Scoot Robertson for that title. So
yeah,
big deal.
Yeah,
and we're gonna get to see our boys. We're gonna probably get the chance to talk to Illuminate. Drake Frost is gonna be there. He's gonna be in action. Scoot's gonna be in action. Sure Samurai's gonna be in action. Guapo Lupe, everybody's favorite's gonna be in action. I'm sure. Nova, The all-day cruise, Bryce Kuza and Aiden Andrew are both going to be in separate action matches. Should be loaded for lots of fun.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be an open tag team challenge that just recently came down. Sir Samurai and Drake Frost are going to defend the SPW tag team titles in an open challenge match. So that should be somewhat fun and exciting. Go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead. I will have a new sign for Chima. If anyone's asking, he owes me a sign.
We're gonna make signs. We have the big Extreme Championship match. Jack Tracy defending the title against Bobby Callahan. Daniel Shorts getting another shot, and Eliza Hammer getting that mix. The big costume battle royal, which is the most fun at this whole event. Everybody gets to dress up. Who's gonna dress up as who? You got to come out and check this out. SPW doing great things. Just the other day, they were at Woodland Skilled Nursing. They did some free wrestling out there for everybody around in the Woodland area. It was a fun time from what I understand. But yeah, October 20th. Go to SPW on Facebook. Mm-hmm. The link's in the description below. Buy your tickets now. Yes, you can buy them at the door, but come out. Check this show out. Let's pack this house out. Biggest Halloween party in Elk Grove this Halloween. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss this opportunity. It's going to be a fun time in the old town tonight. Guaranteed. I will be there. Even though I'm injured, I will be there. And we'll have fun.
Bring the kids. Bring the family. Let's have a good time.
Bring grandma. Bring grandma. Bring grandpa. Bring the aunts and uncles. Bring the whole family. Bring the neighbors. Bring the neighbor's dog. Bring whoever. Bring the guy walking down the street. Tell him to get in the car. He needs to go see some great wrestling action. Bring your co-workers. Bring your buddies. Bring your boyfriend. Bring your girlfriend. Bring your wife. Bring whoever you want to bring. Bring everybody. If somebody you know, bring them. It's going to be a Halloween party. Bring the kids. Dress them. Let them dress up. There's going to be a Halloween Halloween costume contest. So that's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get out of here. We're going to come back and do this again tomorrow night, and we'll give you some more Asher Pack fun on the weekly Roundup podcast. Gentlemen, tell them good night.
Good night, folks.